Ipswich became a town of social action in 2022, and they were the first town in the country to gain the title. It's linked to the iWill movement, the national movement that we're ambassadors for, which is run by UK Youth and Volunteering Matters. But the thing that makes Ipswich as a town of social action so important and special and valuable is that it is completely driven by the people within that community, the stakeholders, the young people, the local community groups, the council, that have all been working together to sort of push the Power of Youth Charter, which is a national movement, but it is taking it into the places, putting it into that context of the young people within towns like Ipswich and making sure that they can really champion it on that personal level. What you'll see in this film is the young people themselves and how they are pioneering this youth-led voice across the town of Ipswich. And it's going to be in the words of these young people, these young ambassadors like myself. And the thing we really want to show is how this doesn't just have to be Ipswich. Seeing on the national scale, people being proud and celebrating everything we're doing in Ipswich has made me so proud of where I come from. And it made me realise that any town can be doing this, any city can be doing this. Anyone can level up their youth voice and become a town of social action.
Ipswich being a town of youth social action means to me that it's putting young people at its forefront. Young people are leading decision making, they're leading change, they're having their voices heard and being platformed in the right spaces to be able to make actionable, solution-based change for young people. It means that we're leading the charge. It means that other people should be following suit for the work that we're doing, because we're doing fantastic work here. And we're showcasing that this is a possibility, no matter the size of the place, no matter whether it's a city or a town, and we're standing proud in that, and we're able to do what we need to do and make sure that young people are there and part of everything we're doing.
I think it means a place that encourages change and a place that prioritizes young people to change the world, or change just Ipswich for now.
To organisations who are not putting young people at the forefront of what they're doing or not considering them is why? Why are you not doing that? Because we as adults have a very particular view of how we see things and how we think young people actually want, like how they behave and what they want. And our perception of it is far from the truth, because being a young person is incredibly nuanced. It's not one group that you can categorise as they are like this and they are like this. No, you have to talk to them. You have to get their opinions and voices out there. Otherwise, what is the future really for your organisation?
Young people are everywhere and they're in Ipswich. So if you're not involved, if you're not in the network, then your young stakeholders, your young people are missing out. So you need to get involved for them. Young people are here to stay.
What I hope is that these organisations understand that it's okay to start where you are and then build from that. It's not about expecting yourself to, be standing in Parliament or in these kind of really big places, or deciding to make your CEO a young person. That's not what is being expected of you, but it's starting where you are, making realistic change for your organisation, but making sure it has that direct impact for young people and other people around them, but young people centred at the point of that change as well.
We should give kids a bit more of an opportunity to speak for themselves instead of adults just taking all the answers for kids. They might just make some assumptions, but even those small details could really matter in the bigger picture.
How did you get involved with iWill? So at first I just went to a hack with my already youth social action. And then I decided that I saw how much they changed everything and the different perspectives they put into people's minds, that I wanted to actually join it and help.
It was mostly through my college. So I've always been interested in the sort of, this is going to sound a bit boring, but sitting in meetings and deciding what to do. And sort of being in rooms where you can actually affect change and make those decisions. And so I was always part of school councils and such. And I would consistently be incredibly frustrated when they wouldn't actually make the changes that the student body wanted. I found out about iWill. iWill facilitates you doing whatever social action that you are passionate about.
I heard about the iWill movement once I'd done a couple of hackathons, and I really thought that was kind of my next step in my social action journey, and I really kind of loved everything that they stood for. They're very
all of the staff members are very supportive and everyone is around kind of empowering youth voice.
Social action to me is all about the power of an individual story. I think a lot of the time we see people fighting for something, they're fighting for something quite personal to them. It's when we see people protesting, when we see people asking for things, when we see people telling their story and their why. We talk a lot in iWill about what's your why. I think that's all to do with what somebody's gone through and they're trying to make something better. What the work that I do and my social action is all about mental health support for young people that live with chronic or long-term illness. That's because I struggled with my mental health. I think social action for me is about your voice and telling your story and getting that across.
I think social action can be a lot of things, and it's a matter of people caring. And a lot of the time, aspects of the world we live in try to make people stop caring, to desensitize them. A lot of the world we live in actively incentivizes not caring. And so caring itself is something I think quite radical, and that necessarily leads to you wanting to take action. And as you said, Alex, everyone has a different reason for it, and a lot of the time it's because of some personal story that they have. But also a lot of the time it's just because people care.
Volunteering Matters, of course, is one of the partners in the iWill movement, but what's special about the work they do in Ipswich is they have a really strong presence in the town. They have that really strong tie to the community, and that's what's really important about driving community-led change, is having that strong presence of a community group to make sure that the voice is really there and that the people within that town are really being listened to, because there is that element of care for the people in that town.
What kind of positive changes have you seen happen?
I've seen, like, in my local community, they've been more inclusive and thinking more about everyone instead of just themselves. Like, the other day, we saw a bin fall over, me and my mum, help, and we've seen, there's a lot more helpfulness in our community.
I think that I've seen a lot of organisations kind of really step up and recognise your voice and kind of see that they need to get perspectives of all different types of people, not just maybe one type of person.
In Ipswich alone, we have 50 signatories for our Power of Youth Charter, including organisations like Wolsey 550, Asset Education, the University of Suffolk Student Union and Full YP. In this film, we visited 2 of our signatories to see them in action, and that was Ipswich Community Media and Future Female Society.
Normally we turn up around 7 o'clock and we're there for 2 hours. We don't keep it structured, so we just kind of do a various range of topics. It could be anything, but it's more about the social aspect of it. And it is structured in a way we do have talking points. I feel like it's more of a free-flowing group. And then no pressure to talk either. You don't have to talk, you can just sit there and just listen. And if you want to talk, you can say something. And so quite open space, so everyone's very accepting, understanding.
I'm a facilitator for Future Female Society for their programme Girls Where You At, which is a media programme that trains girls between the ages of 12 to 19. They'll use their voice through different types of media like filmmaking, making skits, or just having really in-depth conversations with other girls around their age to create youth voice and youth activism.
Take the voices of girls. Yeah!
Young people can get involved in social action anywhere. Social action can be anything. It can be your voice and making sure it's heard. It could be picking up litter from the ground. It could be something bigger. It could be starting a campaign or a movement. But social action is just making sure that your voice is valued and heard, and making sure that people can see your change.
A lot of people think it has to be some big thing, but I think that any kind of social action, big or small, is beneficial, because it could be something as much as helping your elderly neighbour put away their shopping, or it could be to running a campaign. I just think that anything that makes a difference, and you're fighting for something that you believe in, anything can be social action.
It's standing for local or national government. It's being at events like this, volunteering at a food bank, going and just talking to people in your community. It's such a broad range of things, and some of these sound much more grandiose than others, but all of them are just as important.
Think about our future, that we've got us who are not being listened to will someday be the people who are listened to. So listen to us now before we lose our youthful ideas that we want as children, not as adults.
I do still think that in terms of our voices being listened to, we do still have some way to go, because not all organisations or not all people are always inclined to listen to youth voice and think that they know for us, but I definitely do think they can do anything that they put their minds to.
I think it's important for there to be spaces for young people to take a lead, because I feel like young people are kind of pushed aside a bit, and they're either, deemed as antisocial or deemed as just, you don't know a lot. When in fact, if we do give these opportunities to young people, they'll then grow up and they'll learn and become better. You see, if we don't give opportunities like this to young people, then they won't actually get life experience. They just keep doing what they're told, and that's sometimes not going to work for everyone.
Like someone said over there, he said, children, we're not just the future, we are present. We're here, we're in the present. Everyone should have a voice, everyone has their own opinion, and we don't know what children are capable, because some children have such brilliant ideas, which some of them make me smile, because I just think they're literally just such amazing ideas, which I just love, and I think loads of people should take them into consideration, because they mean something to someone, and they can mean something to loads of thousands of different people. If you want young people to be at the forefront of your town, then sign the Power of Youth Charter. Even if you feel like you're not hitting all of the points at the moment, you're making that commitment to be able to do that in the future. And if you're interested in finding out more about becoming a place of social action, head to the iWill website. Let young people be the leaders. We've got this.